Hey, everybody, how you doing? This is Rich PSTAN, and this is my Tuesday motivation right here. And very quickly, I just want to encourage someone out there, and I want to talk to you about your why. Okay, your why. Well, when I talk to young entrepreneurs who are trying to do a lot of businesses, those who are trying to make some money for themselves, maybe trying to get something done, when I talk to them, one of the things that I do mention is that um, your success actually is very little dependent. Is just is not really dependent on skills. Okay, because a lot of people try to bring in the issue of, oh, I don't have skills, oh, I don't have money. I hear a lot of stuff like, if you've been following me, you would have noticed that I just did a video where we launched the 90 days to a million project. And for those who are interested in mini importation, we also have launched the 15K per day blueprint. So lots of things are going on. But sometimes one of the major challenges that I hear from young people is things like, I don't have capital, I don't have money, I don't have, okay, I have the money, but I don't have skills. I don't know how to do it, and all those kind of stuff. Oh, I wasn't trained for it. Or I didn't go to school. Or I didn't graduate from university. All kinds of excuses. But I'm here to let you know that, listen, success is really not dependent on all those things. It's really not dependent on all those things, because every single one of them can be acquired. If you don't have skills, you can learn. If you didn't go to school, you can go to school. I mean, you don't even have to go to a school, a four-wall school right now. You can go to school online in today's world and get a certificate. Okay? I know a friend here who has a certificate from a university in Canada, and he has never been to Canada before. He went to school online, paid their fees, and today he has a master's from the university in Canada. He has never been to Canada before. So the world has opened up. So gone are the days when you can limit yourself with that excuse. If you don't have money, I mean, you can have money, you can generate money, money is the least of the problems. I mean, you can get money. Okay, so um all those excuses doesn't really work when it has to do with success. Okay, success is entirely dependent on your why, what I call the big why. Okay, why are you doing this? So I just want to talk to somebody out there a young entrepreneur out there who may be going through some challenges right now, and you're looking at yourself like, should I really continue? I mean, and here I am saying I'm an entrepreneur. Maybe you are just started. Maybe you're in network marketing, or maybe you are in internet marketing, or maybe whatever business that you are going through some challenges right now, and you're asking yourself, what really? What's going on? All right. I'm here to encourage you that to put your focus on your why. If you put your focus on your why, you'll be amazed at how the complete turnaround that is going to happen in your life. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Okay? Think about your why. Think about why did you get started. Let me share with you a practical example. One of my biggest whys, why I do what I do, and why I made up my mind to be an entrepreneur, and why I made up my mind to be a network marketing professional, why we're launching the stuff that you see us launching, why I'm um, after the desire to hit 50 million by the end of this year, even though I know it's just 4 months to to the year. We've not really done half of it. We've not even done quarter of that, but I'm pushing that we're going to do 50 million. One of the reasons why that kind of goals can come to me is because of my why. My why. And I'll just tell you right now. A few years ago, my dad, I was born into a very rich family. My dad was very rich. He had businesses everywhere. He was the biggest, at that time, was the biggest importer of textiles in the entire marketplace. For those of you who know Aba, the city of Aba in Abia State in Nigeria, the city of Aba is a commercial nerve center. Now, Ariaria is an international market in that city. Now, my dad owned almost 16 different shops in that market. I'm telling you, he had 16. Okay, all always full. with textile materials. He was the biggest. His name was on radio, on TV. I mean, that's the kind of money he had. Money. Um, and of course, he didn't invest. He spent it as it came, and that's a story for another day. But suffice it to say that he lost the money. All right. Sometime the popular area international market fire outbreak took up the whole thing, the whole shops. None of them was insured. This was a man who didn't go to school. He stopped in primary school, made friends with those who were like him. Nobody was advising him. Even when the advice came for him to invest his money, buy real estate, invest in other businesses, he ignored them. He felt it was going to be like that forever. But hey, listen, he lost the money. And before long, in the same city where he was known as Philipson Textiles, in the same city where he was paying for rents for several people, the man became a taxi driver. That was my dad. He became a taxi driver in that same city. And of course, it was a very humiliating, traumatic experience for us. Imagine being known as a son of this and that, and now your dad is a taxi driver, and so many stuff happening, and it was just very traumatic for me as a young guy at that time, just about freshly, I think, in my first year in the campus. And I remember one day, and for one of my, I'm just trying to let you know the reason uh, why I do what I do, the passion behind it. This is my why, and why I believe that I'm going to be one of the biggest real estate investors in this country, if not in the world. Okay, I'm going to invest massively in student hostels. I'm going to invest, I mean, so much is going to happen in the next few years. Okay, and this is my why. I remember one day my dad, it was a Saturday morning. The landlord, of course, we hadn't paid the rent. There was no money, and the landlord came to the house, and he dramatically marshaled every tenant downstairs. We were living upstairs, second floor front. He marshaled every tenant downstairs, and this was about 6:30 a.m. between 6:30 to 7 in the morning, and he practically verbally dehumanized my dad. Oh, I watched this man, you know, throw all kinds of tantrums. Sorry, guys. I watched him say all kinds of unprintable things about my father. How he amounts to nothing, is always owing, behaves as if his case is the worst, and you know. And while I was up there watching this show. Tears came out of my eyes, you know, and I saw my dad, tears coming out of his eyes, because at this time the man was trying to balance his life, you know. I was in campus, my younger sisters are in school, and he's someone who made up his mind that because he didn't go to school, he was never going to allow any of his children not to go to school. My dad will go hungry. He wore the same clothes for months. They never bought any new clothes. I mean, he will save. He will eat all manner of stuff just to make sure that we have food. So here was the landlord saying all kinds of stuff, and he was crying, and I was crying upstairs. And that day I made up my mind. I swore to God. I say, as long as God lives, I swore by anything you can ever think of. I said, I am going to be a successful person. I'm going to be a multi-billionaire. I'm going to invest in real estate. This same house that this man has insulted my father, with, he is going to own multiples of them. He's going to own multiples of them, and I'm going to do it in his lifetime. He will own multiples of them. This same house. So that was the decision. So some people look at me today and they wonder, what really moves you? The way you move, you came out of school, and things that you know and what you're doing, entrepreneurship, what really moves you. I just shared with you that's my why. And every day I encounter a challenge. Every day I feel like, oh, I don't think um I can I can move further. Every day I feel like the stress is becoming so much. I think about this. Every time I feel it, I think about my why. I think about my father. I think about my promise to God that I was going to own properties all around the world. I think about my promise to myself that I was going to be a multi-millionaire. I think about my promise that I was going to wipe the face, that I was going to give him the best, the things that he sacrificed, these same things that he sacrificed. I mean, sacrifice not even getting married after my mom's death. With all the pressures, he said I was not going to get married to another woman. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to manage just to make sure that these people do not have another influence over their lives. He sacrificed literally his life for us. I made sure, I promised God that as far as I lived, I was going to give him access to those things that he never had access to. So this is my why. That's so when challenges come and all that, you find out that yes, I may be in a business where I may not have the skills, I may be learning, um I may be doing this, and it may seem as if I've not had the results. Frustration is going to come in, depression is going to come in, but the moment they come in and I put my antenna on my why, there's a flow of energy, there's a flow of hope, there's a flow of passion that flows and rushes through my being, and before long I'm up and doing again. So somebody keeps wondering, why is it that he never gives up? This is why I never give up. Every time I think about that time, every time I think about giving up, the mental picture of the landlord cursing my family because of a 50,000 naira rent gushes through my being. That same, you've got to have that same experience to succeed. What is your why? What is your why? If you don't have your why spelled out, and your why must be emotional, it must be something that moves you to tears. It must be something that, I mean, it could be your mom, it could be your desire to provide a better life, if it could be to move from where you guys are living to a better place. It could be like one of my whys right now is that I want to give my first 1 million naira to God this year 2017. It drives me. It makes me it causes me to work. The people who know me are wondering, why is it Saturdays I'm working, Sundays this is it. It's the why, the passion. As I look at the months and I look at the way the days are flying, I'm being pressured, I'm being moved to do more to ensure that that dream comes to pass, where I can drop 1 million and say, God, I've given my first 1 million, because what you give, you overcome. If you can give God 1 million, it means you've overcome 1 million. It becomes little. So I just want to encourage someone today, and I just want to pour my heart to you and let you know that no matter what it is, God loves you. You can do it. Okay, you can do it. God loves you. You can achieve your goal. You can achieve your dreams. Put your why on God. What's your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Don't just say I want to make 10 million naira. Why do you want to make it? Don't just say I want to be a successful business person. Why do you want to be a successful business person? Don't just say I want to be a successful pastor. Why do you want to be a successful pastor? Don't just say I just want to be a successful student. Why? Once you have that why clearly spelled out and it moves you, you can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. With that being said, I want to thank you for listening. I remember, money truly talks. Have a blessed day.